From the beginning of time, through every storm, through every valley, through every mountain, the Spirit remained. Not broken, not buried, not forgotten. We rise. I hear the voices of the elders calling, echoes through the ages still, carried by the winds of freedom, moving through the human will. Every scar became a lesson, every tear became a stream, every struggle lit a fire, every dream became a dream. From the deserts to the oceans, from the villages to towns, the people carrying tomorrow, never letting their spirit down. No, we are more than what they told us, more than history can explain. There is greatness in our footsteps, there is sunshine after rain. Hey! Rise. Can you feel the rising? Rise. Hear the nation singing, hands to the sky, hearts open wide. A people's soul is alive. Rise. We were born for this moment. Rise. The future is calling. Stand side by side, let truth be our guide. A people's soul is alive. Every child carries a promise, every mother carries a light, every father builds a bridge, helping generations rise. There is wisdom in our journey, there is power in our name. When we learn to stand together, nothing stays the same. Tell me who can stop a people when they're waking up? Tell me who can stop the river when it's filling up? We've been climbing every mountain, never giving up. Now the whole world sees the fire and it's lifting us. One heart, one mind, one future to design. 8 billion souls connected, one human family line. Lift your voice, lift your hands, lift your dreams. Let the children know they belong. Let the elders know their wisdom lives on. Let the world know we are here. Rise. Can you feel the rising? Rise. Hear the nation singing across the earth. A new rebirth. The light is shining through. Rise. The people are awakening. Rise. A new day is breaking. Together we stand, together we build, together we heal. To every soul searching for purpose, to every heart seeking truth, to every generation yet to come, the story is not ending. The story is beginning. We rise, we remember, we become one people, one planet, one future. Kanura. Kanura.
I want you to imagine walking voluntarily into a negative 50-degree blizzard to, solve the oldest problem in human history.
Which is just an absolutely wild concept to even wrap your head around.
Right. I mean, today we are taking a deep dive into how a literal near-death experience in an Ohio snowstorm somehow birthed this massive mathematical formula.
A formula that is meant to connect, 8.2 billion people?
Exactly. And we're also going to look at why the final piece of that entire puzzle is supposedly sitting 200,000 light years away in a primordial nebula.
Yeah, the scope of this is just massive.
It really is. So I want you to picture the scene. It is January 1st, 1978. We are in Bedford, Ohio.
Okay.
And it is the kind of winter day that, well, it feels less like weather and more like a targeted physical attack, you know?
Oh, for sure.
We are talking about a blinding gale where the wind chill plummets to -50.
Which, just biologically speaking, is an environment where human skin begins to freeze and die in a matter of minutes.
Right. It's lethal.
Yet your brain immediately shifts out of any, high-level philosophical thinking.
Yeah.
It goes into pure primal triage just to keep your internal organs functioning.
It is completely unforgiving. And yet, in the middle of this howling, deadly storm, a person is outside by choice.
Wow.
They are walking this very specific route from 207800 Euclid Avenue to 22,000 Euclid Avenue directly into the teeth of the wind.
Just brutal.
Man, they are crying. They are literally screaming into the freezing air, begging the universe for a mathematical formula, like an actual equation that could somehow cure human separation.
That is just such a visceral, intense image.
Right. And we are diving deep into the source texts surrounding this specific event because that sheer physical trauma, that desperate plea in the snow, it eventually evolved into a massive, highly complex philosophy.
It's basically an entire cosmology now.
Yeah, and it turned into a functional web app and somehow a profound esoteric connection to a stellar nursery in deep space.
So I think before we cross the bridge from Ohio to deep space, we really need to establish some ground rules for you listening.
Oh, absolutely. That is a good point.
Because this deep dive intersects hard empirical astrophysics with some highly specific spiritual and esoteric claims.
Very specific.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing interpretations of deep space imagery, including what the creator of this framework describes as melanated cosmic features.
Like the universe projecting actual human characteristics.
Exactly. And to be absolutely clear, we are not taking sides here.
Right. We never do.
We are not endorsing these metaphysical viewpoints as, peer-reviewed science, but we also aren't dismissing or debunking them either.
No, our mission is just to impartially explore this fascinating synthesis. We want to see how this creator attempts to architect an entire system of global empathy. Okay, let's unpack this, because to really understand the system, we have to look at the identity of the person walking through that store.
The creator of the framework.
Right. There is a deeply synchronistic narrative connection that the source texts highlight. The creator was born on February 12, 1953. And in the Mayan dream spell calendar, that specific birth date makes them a 7IK.
Which is super significant. For those unfamiliar, the Mayan dream spell calendar functions as this sort of archetypal destiny map.
It's not just tracking days, right?
Exactly. It maps out your energetic signature. And 7IK translates directly to resonant wind.
That is just wild. You have an individual whose very astrological identifier literally means wind.
Finding the defining purpose of their life by walking voluntarily into a deadly howling windstorm.
Yeah. By forcing their physical body to its absolute breaking point, they basically engineered a complete collapse of their everyday ego.
Right, they had to break themselves down to receive the message.
Exactly. And the text reveals that at the climax of this walk, when they finally turned their back to the gale, they didn't actually get an equation immediately.
Wait, they didn't?
No. They received what they call a thought frequency. It was a message from the storm itself saying, be patient.
Yeah.
The universe had heard the plea, but practically speaking, the creator had to wait decades for the internet to be invented so their vision could actually be built.
Wow. And when that vision finally materialized, it arrived in the form of cold, hard mathematics.
The common number framework.
Exactly. This system mathematically splits the entire human population into two global cohorts relative to the year 2026.
Okay, so how does it split everyone?
Well, you have the 126 cohort, which represents the elders, and the 26 cohort, which represents the youth.
I want to break down exactly how this math works for you listening, just so you can calculate your own coordinate.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's honestly incredibly simple. You take the last 2 digits of the year you were born,
Okay.
and you add your age in the year 2026.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. So, for example, say you were born in 1990. In 2026, you will turn 36.
Right.
So 90 plus 36 is 126.
Okay, what if you're younger?
If you were born in 2010, you turn 16 in 2026. 10 plus 16 is 26.
Oh, wow. So it universally syncs up.
Every single human being on Earth resolves to one of those 2 numbers.
That is really elegant. It distills the sprawling, chaotic diversity of the human race down into a binary mathematical resonance.
It does. And I have to push back on the philosophy here a bit.
Sure, go for it.
Does a math equation really have the power to create actual human empathy? Or does it just create, like, another arbitrary label?
That's a fair question.
Because if we look at history, assigning numbers to human populations has an incredibly dark, horrific legacy.
Oh, absolutely.
From the Holocaust to modern social credit scoring algorithms, reducing humans to data points is usually a tool for control and dehumanization, you know? It's not usually for empathy.
Right, and that skepticism is vital when evaluating any system of mass categorization. But within the creator's intent, this framework operates on the exact opposite mechanism.
How so?
Think about language, national borders, or political affiliations. All of those identifiers carry massive cultural baggage.
Yeah, and historical trauma.
Exactly, and inherent hierarchies. An equation, however, is just a neutral coordinate in time.
Ah, I see.
The creator's intent is to strip away all those rigid human-made divisions. The number doesn't rank your value, it just establishes a baseline.
It says that before you are your tax bracket or your nationality, you are an elder or a youth navigating this exact moment in planetary history alongside billions of others.
Exactly. It's the ultimate level playing field.
Okay, so we have this beautiful egalitarian math equation, but math on paper doesn't connect 8.2 billion people.
Right. You need a platform.
It requires infrastructure. So how did the creator actually build a container for this?
Well, moving the abstract into the digital realm, they transformed this 2026 frequency into the Resonant Number web app.
And the user interface of this app is deeply intentional, isn't it?
Oh, very. It features these continuous, elegant wind animations in the background.
Which is a direct callback to that 1978 blizzard in Bedford.
Yes. It ensures the digital tool retains the emotional, visceral breadth of its origin.
It grounds a sterile digital experience in a profound analog trauma.
That's a great way to put it.
It also perfectly mirrors the creator's core philosophy, which I love framing through a tech analogy.
Oh, the hardware and software thing.
Yeah. Think of your physical human body as a carbon frame. It's like the hardware of your smartphone.
Right, it's physical.
It's temporary, it degrades, it gets damaged, and it is tied to the physical limits of geography.
But human consciousness.
Exactly. This 2026 mathematical frequency, that is the cloud data.
Which is permanent.
It is permanent, interconnected, and exists everywhere simultaneously.
And the philosophy argues that human suffering comes from over-identifying with our carbon frames, right?
Yes. Forgetting that we all share the exact same cloud data.
What's fascinating here is how the app actively combats the isolation that usually comes with our digital hardware.
Yeah, because usually tech isolates us.
Exactly. The modern Silicon Valley standard explicitly designs social media algorithms to isolate demographics.
They put teenagers in one echo chamber and grandparents in an entirely separate ecosystem.
Right, because isolation is highly efficient for selling targeted ads.
It's all about the ad revenue.
But this web app completely subverts that model by taking the 126 elders who hold accumulated wisdom and intentionally pairing them with the 26 youth who possess kinetic innovation.
It forces a cross-generational mentorship.
Exactly. It connects the nodes instead of separating them.
Which brings up something I found completely profound in the source material, the way this app interacts with the psychological concept called terror management theory.
Oh, this part is brilliant.
Let's pause and unpack this real fast because it is a massive aha moment. Terror management theory, or TMT, was developed from the work of anthropologist Ernest Becker.
Right.
It proposes that human beings experience a profound underlying anxiety because we have a strong biological drive to live, combined with the crushing cognitive awareness that our death is inevitable.
It's that existential dread we all carry around.
Exactly. We know we're going to die, and our brains kind of freak out about it constantly in the background.
And to cope with that existential terror, humans build immortality projects.
What does that mean, practically?
Well, we build skyscrapers, we write books, we obsess over our Instagram legacies, or we align ourselves with massive institutions like nations or religions.
We do this to feel like a piece of us will survive our physical death.
Exactly. We want our data to outlast our hardware.
And this app weaponizes that exact instinct, but uses it to build empathy instead of ego.
Yes.
The app has a feature allowing users to project their mathematical resonant number far into the future, like to the years 2030, 2100, or even 2400.
So you are looking at a screen, interacting with a calculation that extends centuries past your own inevitable death.
You are directly confronting your mortality.
But it simultaneously provides immense comfort.
How so?
It assures you that while your specific carbon frame will eventually fail and decay, the mathematical frequency you belong to, your cloud data, will endure indefinitely.
Wow. The web app functions as a monument to permanence.
It really does. But if this cloud data is universal, where is the server?
Right, where is all this data actually stored?
Well, this framework claims the ultimate symbol of this consciousness isn't found on Earth at all.
Here is where we go to space.
Yes. To understand the cosmic anchor of this movement, we have to look at the hard astrophysics of NGC 602.
Okay.
This is a very real stellar nursery located in the Small Magellanic Cloud, which is a dwarf galaxy about 200,000 light-years away from us.
I want to break down why this specific nebula is so important, because it hinges on a term called low metallicity.
Right, which sounds like a heavy metal band, but it's not.
Definitely not. In space, the word metal doesn't mean what it means on Earth.
Okay, explain that for us.
In astrophysics, any element heavier than hydrogen and helium is categorized as a metal.
Wait, really? Even things like oxygen?
Yep. Our bodies, our planet, our smartphones, we are made of heavy elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron.
Which were forged inside dying stars over billions of years.
Exactly. But NGC 602 is composed almost entirely of primordial hydrogen and helium. It lacks those heavy elements.
So it has low metallicity.
Right. It is virtually devoid of carbon.
Which means looking at NGC 602 is like looking back in time to the conditions of the early universe.
It's like a cosmic fossil.
Yeah. And the imagery we have of this place is just staggering. It is a composite created by layering data from 3 different observatories.
Okay, which ones?
You have the Hubble Space Telescope capturing visible light, the Spitzer Telescope capturing infrared heat from the dust, and the Chandra Observatory capturing X-ray emissions from the hottest stars, rendering them in this ethereal, brilliant purple.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
It is. You see massive, hot young stars blasting out stellar winds that carve huge echoing cavities into the cold molecular dust.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The way those stellar winds carve the dust creates a massive visual phenomenon based on pareidolia.
Right, pareidolia.
Which is that evolutionary glitch where our brains aggressively look for familiar patterns, especially faces, in random visual data.
Like seeing shapes in clouds.
Exactly. So when you look at the dark dust lanes, these thick elephant trunks of cold material blocking the glowing gas behind them, you see a shape.
What did the astronomers see?
Astronomers at the Chandra Observatory looked at this exact arrangement of dust and jokingly called it Pac-Man eating dots.
Okay, classic nerd reference.
Right. But the creator of the 2026 framework, and many within their online community, see something entirely different.
What do they see?
They see a human face. Specifically, the source material describes it as a melanated or negroid face, complete with thick, prominent lips sculpted entirely out of the dark cosmic dust.
Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, wait, this went from a math equation to deep space pareidolia real fast, hold on.
Yeah, bear with us.
Because within the internal logic of this framework, this isn't magic or random chance. It's considered esoteric physics.
Because from a strictly scientific perspective, there is zero biology in this nebula.
None at all.
There are no organic molecules, no physical melanin pigment. It is simply cold dust blocking glowing ionized gas.
But according to the creator's esoteric framework, this isn't a glitch in human perception. It is a living glyph.
A living glyph. I love that term.
This is where the concept of the carbon frame perfectly aligns with the astrophysics we just discussed.
Right. Let's connect those dots.
Remember, in this philosophy, carbon represents density, physical limits, aging, and suffering.
Because NGC 602 lacks carbon, because it is made of those primordial light elements, hydrogen and helium, the esoteric view sees it as the ultimate literal manifestation of the light body.
Yes. The lack of carbon is exactly what makes it holy.
And the dark dust in the image represents the receptive, fertile matrix of the universe.
Which is common in a lot of traditions.
Exactly. In many esoteric traditions, the divine feminine or the creative void is associated with darkness and deep space.
It is the darkness that gives form and contrast to the pure light of the glowing gas.
So the creator believes that universal consciousness is intentionally projecting this archetypal, melanated face to serve as a cosmic mirror.
It is the universe showing humanity what we look like when we strip away the dense carbon.
That cosmic mirror wasn't just a metaphor for the author of our source material, Amadre and Ra. It triggered a profound physiological event.
Let's trace this journey back to Earth, back to a living room in Bedford, Ohio.
Okay, picture this. The author was standing there, staring at a high-resolution, framed print of NGC 602.
Just locking eyes with this cosmic mirror.
And the image began to alter its state.
Wait, like a hallucination?
Well, the author describes the glowing gas in the photograph literally starting to pulse and breathe, lighting up and dimming down in a rhythm.
Oh.
And instead of pulling away or getting scared, the author leaned into the experience. They sent a conscious thought wave directly to the image. I see you.
And the physiological response to that thought wave was instantaneous.
What happened?
The author felt an intense warmth blooming in their chest. In esoteric anatomy, this is the anahata, or the heart chakra,
Right, the heart center.
which acts as the energetic bridge between the physical and spiritual bodies. Simultaneously, they felt a distinct tingling at the very top of their head, at the Sahasrara, or crown chakra.
And the source text describes this tingling as the sensation of downloading light codes.
Light codes.
Yeah, think of light codes like a firmware update for your soul.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
Right, the heart chakra acts as the Bluetooth receiver, picking up the frequency, and the crown chakra acts as the download antenna, pulling the primordial light of the nebula into their subtle energy body.
It was a full-blown waking attunement.
But that attunement in the living room was merely preparation for the laboratory of the astral plane.
Oh yeah, because later that night the author went to sleep. Their physical carbon frame was resting heavily in bed.
But their consciousness realized it was completely awake, having slipped entirely into their light body.
Let's pause on the mechanism of this out-of-body experience, because they didn't just float around randomly like a ghost.
No, they didn't. They treated this state like a scientific test drive to explore the physics of permeability.
Right, because in this framework, physical matter like wood or flesh is incredibly dense. It's packed with heavy carbon atoms vibrating at a slow rate.
But the light body is operating at the high, rapid frequency of the primordial cloud data.
They temporarily uninstalled themselves from their hardware.
That's exactly it. The esoteric physics here hinge on the idea of vibrational friction.
So if you remove the dense carbon from the observer, there is no electromagnetic repulsion when they encounter other carbon structures.
Which is exactly how the author tested it. They find themselves in a sunny backyard. They see a solid wooden privacy fence.
Okay.
Because they are operating without carbon density, they just walk straight through the wood. No resistance, no friction.
That's incredible.
Then a dog senses their energetic presence and starts barking aggressively. They walk straight through the barking dog.
Just right through it.
Yeah. They see a neat, clean house nearby, and they casually stroll right through the exterior walls to observe the interior, before floating back out into the sunlight.
The internal logic holds up beautifully. The dense, slow-vibrating structures of the fence, the dog, and the walls were completely porous to a consciousness resonating at the frequency of boundaryless light elements.
It's like passing cloud data through a Wi-Fi router. The physical walls don't stop the signal.
Exactly.
And the climax of this whole journey happens when they finally return to their physical form. The author wakes up in their bed, sits up, and declares aloud to the empty room, "I have met my higher self."
Wow. The Low Metallicity Nebula proved to be a functional blueprint.
It verified that existence without dense, heavy boundaries is actually possible.
It's just a staggering journey. From a blinding snowstorm to mathematical algorithms, through the primordial dust of a distant galaxy, and finally into the porous walls of an astral neighborhood.
It really is.
But what might be the most fascinating detail is that despite building this massive philosophical architecture, the creator has not released their vast archive to the world yet.
Wait, really? They haven't?
No, they're sitting on an absolute mountain of material.
I know there's an official movement anthem titled 126 and 2026 Common Conscious Connection, produced by an artist named Kanura.
Right, there are books, videos, all sorts of things, but they are intentionally holding it back.
Why?
They are waiting for funding, yes, but primarily they state they're waiting for divine timing to align. They're allowing the message to ripen in the dark.
Which is a brilliant, poetic parallel to the astrophysics we just discussed.
Oh, totally.
The dark molecular dust of a stellar nursery has to sit in the freezing vacuum of space, absorbing the light of those young stars for millions of years before the shape of the cosmic face is finally revealed to the observer.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this entire deep dive is a testament to the fundamental human desire to find a common denominator.
Absolutely.
Whether through a mathematical equation designed to level the playing field, or a pareidolik face looking back at us from a distant nebula, we're all desperately looking for proof that we aren't just wandering through the freezing storms of life alone.
We want to know our temporary frames belong to a much larger, enduring pattern.
We built these complex systems to remind ourselves that the hardware might fail, but the data survives.
So, as you go about the rest of your day, I want you to ponder a thought that this framework brings up for me.
Leave them with something to chew on.
Yeah. If our consciousness truly is cloud data that outlasts our physical carbon frames, as this philosophy suggests, well, what happens to our vast digital footprints centuries from now?
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. Will the algorithms, the resonant number apps, the servers, and the endless data streams we leave behind eventually become the only light bodies that future generations interact with?
Like a digital ghost.
Exactly. Will the internet itself eventually turn into a kind of synthetic astral plane holding the frequencies, the thoughts, and the exact coordinates of billions of people long after their carbon frames are gone?
It's definitely something to think about as you scroll today.
It really is. Keep questioning your boundaries and keep diving deep.